Hello, Gems. Welcome in. This is the Virtual Voices podcast, and this is going to be episode 2, where we talk about what it's like to be a VTuber with our guest speaker, PandahPat. The first thing we're going to talk about is how it feels to start as a VTuber with little to no experience with content creation. How does it feel to switch from facecam to VTubing? That is personally something that I had dealt with, and how being a persona affects you as a person in your daily life. Enjoy the episode. All right, so my first question for you, Panda, is what initially got you started into becoming a VTuber? You know, why did you choose VTubing over other stuff? How did that sort of all start?
You know, I was in a little bit of content creation before I was into VTubing. Like, I've always been a theater kid, you know, a cosplayer, you know, all of that. Like, I love the theatrics. And of course, when I heard we can be anime now, I was like, hold up, we can be anime now? Excuse me, someone tell me what's up.
Yes.
I actually learned about VTubing through VC chat. So the virtual reality, I saw kind of like that was coming, you know, rising up. And I was like, what's a 3D model? And what is this? And then when I saw like I can make anything, any character, and that can be my persona when I build something. And I stumbled into this. I wasn't even like, I'm gonna have a community, I'm gonna do this. I was like, I'm gonna be anime now. And then my friend was like, you know, you should stream. And I'm like, what is Twitch? Guys, I wasn't even on Twitch. I didn't even know Twitch before this. So some people probably had a more solid journey. My journey was kind of like, hey, you should do this. Okay. But basically, I wanted to be anime now. That's all it was, Syafire at the beginning. And then I branched out.
Yeah. So when did you decide? Like, so you started on Twitch as a VTuber, you didn't stream before that?
No, yeah. So essentially, this VTuber journey is that been kind of weird. So I originally started building a VTuber before I was even on Twitch, and then I got on Twitch with my VTuber. I think I had done Twitch previously, just a little bit beforehand, but it was all at the same time, honestly, where it was like, hey, you should try this, and you should be on Twitch as well. So yeah, I think it's kind of muddled now to think of like what came before the chicken or the egg.
Yeah, absolutely. That's really cool. Because for me, I started initially as I was streaming for 4 years as mostly facecam, and then only in August of 2020 did I become a VTuber, and it's like drastically changed the whole ball game for me. So it's interesting to hear from your perspective what it's like coming in straight as a VTuber versus someone who, you know, had to make that transition.
No, absolutely. I think people who've already had a community, it's interesting to think of your perspective. Like, what do you think the biggest difference is?
Oh man,
from your face to being a VTuber.
Ooh, that's a good question. The biggest difference, there's definitely pros and cons. There's definitely lists of pros and cons, but I think the biggest difference is I have gained more confidence in who I am in expressing myself, because I'm not so vulnerable, right? I have an anime character and a persona. What happened was, you know, as becoming like an anime character, becoming Syafire, she's now actually become this pillar of the best versions of who I am. So it's actually helped. It's done some destructive things to my mental and my mindset, but it's also done some healthy things because it separated me from my obsession with perfectionism. So when I am trying to be perfect, it's no, like Syafire is all the gold and like all the perfect versions of me, but then there's me, there's also like real life me, right? So she kind of gave me like a role model and a perfect ideal version of myself to look up to, and not saying that if I'm not her, bad things are going to happen because she's perfect and I'm not. I do struggle with that sometimes, but it's more, I've started to shift my mindset where it's given me so much self-confidence to be a VTuber over just my face cam, because now I'm allowed to sort of help with some of those thinking errors. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. I think the same thing. You can kind of be the best of yourself.
Yeah.
And you are similar like me, where we use our real personalities. So I actually don't have a persona per se. Like, it's more just who I am.
Yeah.
And I have a lore for sure, but when I went into this, I was like, you know, it wasn't for me. Some people love acting, love character building, but for me, I'm like, I just want to be my real self and have a little anime flavor to it, basically.
Yes.
A little bit of this. And I totally agree. It brings out the best of me. I'm not focused on the negative side. It brings out the best part of me, and it's kind of therapeutic. And some people are like, oh yeah, being on social media is therapeutic. Panda, you're a sellout. Like, you know, like, looking at me like, are you kidding? No, but it is, because it's your content. What you're putting out there is you. Like, you control everything. You're the one doing the work. It's satisfying building this. That's all I can say about that.
Right. That's going to be it for episode 2. I hope you found some value in what PandahPat and I had to say about the experiences of becoming a VTuber and some of the mental we've gone through. And in the next episode, we'll dive even deeper into some of those concepts. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next time on the Virtual Voices podcast.